heartwarming reunion with the people who helped save his life. Doctors say this man's case of COVID-19 left him with little chance for survival. Tonight, the St. Louis man whose illness ended with a double lung transplant is reunited with the village who kept him alive. He's only sharing his story tonight with News 4's Kim St. Ange. She's live outside SLU Hospital. Kim.
And this is where Brian Holmes spent 2 months on life support after testing positive for COVID mid-December. And doctors were saying his lungs were so badly damaged from COVID, his only option to survive was getting this double lung transplant.
Bring it over here.
It seemed more like a family reunion inside the ICU at SLU Hospital.
You look great. How are you?
Brian Holmes spent 2 months in room 418 fighting for his life.
Yeah, I think they were going to call it a couple times.
He tested positive for COVID December 14th.
And on Christmas Eve, I begged and said, "You're going to the hospital."
2 weeks later, he was transferred to SLU and put on a ventilator and ECMO, life support, to help him breathe.
His chance for survival without the ECMO was almost zero.
Brian's wife, Kathy, says he'd take 3 steps forward and 2 steps back.
He was almost able to be weaned from the vent, and then he got pneumonia from being on the ventilator.
In late February, he was airlifted to Cleveland Clinic in Ohio in need of a double lung transplant.
There was no facility in this area that was doing transplants for COVID.
Of course, I was scared, and once it set in, I knew that was either live on a ventilator or get a lung transplant.
On April 6th, thanks to a donor, Brian received 2 new lungs. Doctors say his case of COVID was one of the most severe, referring to it as COVID ARDS or COVID fibrosis.
There have been over 100 transplants now that have been done for COVID ARDS or COVID fibrosis worldwide.
After surgery, Brian began physical therapy, relearning to walk and strengthen his new lungs. He has to take 21 pills every morning.
I feel pretty good. I mean, I have good days and I have bad days. Take a lot of medications.
He's lost about 60 pounds, but by the grace of God, he's still here.
Every day I wake up grateful just that we made it through this journey, and then the fact that we're here because another person made such a decision to be a donor and save other people's lives.
It's made me change my life and how I act towards people, and changed a lot of things.
Every doctor, by the way, here at SLU was commenting on how much of a fighter both Brian and his wife, Kathy, were. So truly a very resilient couple. Brian is telling me tonight he plans to be on medication for the rest of his life. He also expects to be doing physical therapy on his own at home. As far as what is next, well, as for this weekend, in addition to celebrating Father's Day, his family will also be celebrating Christmas since he was in the hospital and missed it.